Well, it's Monday. Even though you guys are probably watching this on a Thursday. It's Monday here, and today's my first day back to work after having a long 2 weeks of, and the reason why I say long, even though it was only 2 weeks, a long 2 weeks off, let me tell you. It was fucking boring. What are you thinking? But Adam, you're getting paid and you didn't have to go to work. You know what? I think this has been the longest time I've been off since I had pneumonia, and it's been the most boringest time I've been off since I had pneumonia. Let me tell you a little something about that. I'm gonna have to wipe up this cup. Alright, 1 second, people.
Oh, yeah.
For sakes, I hate that when coffee grinds make it through the K-cup. Pisses me off. Even though it gives the coffee an interesting flavor. But whatever. So I got about an hour before I gotta go to work. Kinda sucks. But, frig it. Oh shit, I left I Spy going all night again. Uh-oh. How many recordings do I have? 2, 4. Holy shit. People, we got a lot of recordings of Oreo and Scampers at night playing again. So, that's pretty awesome. I know what we can do. Let's add those recordings to the vlog now! Shit, I don't know what the hell they were doing there, but at one point it looked like Oreo was totally humping friggin' Scampers. So, really not sure what's happening, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. Those two at night, eh? For frig's sakes. Oreo's sniffing her butt and chasing her, and then at one point he's like wheelbarrowing her around the house because he's got his nose right underneath there. Enjoy it now, bud, when you're little, because she's gonna get bigger than you. For sure. You know, if it wasn't for Facebook, I'd have no idea that the Olympics were happening right now. Because I don't watch TV ever, and I don't really keep up with the news ever, unless it, pertains to me, I would not have known about the Olympics. And honestly, anybody with a Facebook account doesn't even need to watch the Olympics, because every time your country wins a medal, I guarantee you people post like 50,000 freaking posts about it. And yeah, you don't even need to watch it. Just check Facebook periodically and you'll get all your stats. You'll know who won what and what's going on. Right on. But no, I've never really enjoyed watching the Olympics. Like, I'm not athletic. Look, you can tell. And I don't know, apparently this year there's a lot of controversy happening because of where the the Olympics are happening, and there's a lot of things about gay rights and all that that's going on that I've just been catching bits and pieces of, and oh my god, it's just like one horror show after another horror show after another horror show with this. It's like, fuck's sakes, this world is coming apart. Unfreaking believable. But what can you do, right? Just gotta hammer down and deal with it. Yup. So apparently there's a company here in Canada called Artisan Vapes. Artisan Vapes? Artisan Vapes, that's better. They make a 70-watt box mod. Like, this is usually called a box mod because it's shaped like a box. You know, this is the Anakin VTR, the one I won from Rip Trippers. Basically, this thing here, well, not this one, but the box mod from Artisan Vapes is called the Supermax. And, like, for instance, this Anakin will go up to 15 watts or 6 volts. The same goes for this Vamo V3 or V4 or whatever the frig it is. It'll do 15 watts or 6 volts. The other box mod that I have, which is the Anakin MVP, it'll do 11 watts or 5 volts. You know? Well, this Supermax from Artisan Vapes will do 70 watts or 10 volts. Holy shit. Now you're probably thinking, why the frig would you ever need that much power?
Because you can never have too much power.
But honestly, like, there's really no purpose for it. But one thing I liked about it is, like, for instance, the Evolve kits with the DNA 20s and 30s, they don't have, well, as far as I know, they don't have this protection. But let's say you're running a really low ohm coil. Mind you, the Evolves can only run up to 0.6 ohms, 0.6 ohms to 3 ohms. The Supermax can go 0.12 ohms. That's right, you can sub-ohm the living shit out of it. 0.12 ohms all the way up to 3 ohm. So let's say you're running a super low ohm coil, like a 2 ohm setup, and you put it at 70 watts. Yeah, not recommended because it's going to be way too high in voltage. And you're going to end up freaking cooking your coil. So what Supermax put in was a resistance versus power output checking. And if you put up too high of a resistance, or too high of a wattage, it'll ping at you and then lower the wattage to a safe vaping level, which is awesome. Because, like, for instance, this thing here, it can do a 1.3 ohm coil. So 1.3 ohms at 15 watts, not a big deal. You're going to be pumping like 6 volts right through the coil. It can take that. There's no problems with the Vamo on that issue. But let's say you're doing 70 watts and it's way too much. It'll lower it down to the safest rating, where, as far as I know, the Vamo won't do that. It'll just roast your coil and blow up your wick. Same applies with the DNA 20 and 30 mods. So I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, well, 70 watts, the build quality is really decent. This thing's got to be expensive. Like, the Evolve DNA 30s are going for $250 some places, 135 other places, depending on the kit. But like this Supermax, we're looking at a 3000 milliamp 25C lithium polymer battery, 70 watts of vaping, you know, a real decent hardware button, onboard USB charging. Like, this thing is mint, and they only want $150 for it. I'm like, that's it? Like, there's so much more to it, but they want frig all for it. Like, they're not asking much. So that's pretty damn decent. One downside to it over the Evolve kits is it's a lot like the SSID that I did a review on before. I did this on the tech channel. If you haven't seen that, go to the tech channel, links in the description, and the Smoke Tech SID is in there. And this thing here is also one button operation. It'll do 15 watts or 6 volts. Not bad. You know, it puts out a pretty decent cloud with the Cardo. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want one because it's a product in Canada. It has 70 watts of power. You can sub-ohm it. It has USB charging, a really big battery. Like, I could literally have that and use that as my traveler, you know. 3000 milliamps or milliamp hours. That's a pretty decent long-lasting battery, and it has a volt checker on board, so it'll tell you when your battery's getting low in voltage to friggin' do something about her. But yeah, I don't know. I'm on the waiting list right now for the Nintendo controller. It's an old classic NES controller with a DNA 30 mod in it, and Buddy says it's not going to be till July until he gets back to people. Holy shit, July? Gotta wait that long? Some bitch, eh? But That'll be a cool device too. Mind you, I'm not running anything below 0.6 ohms. And those are just my two RDAs, my Nemesis and my IGO-L. And both of those are running on mechanical mods. On these bad boys, you know. There's just unregulated mechanical mods. But I was chatting with people about mechanical versus non-mechanical. And a lot of people were saying that the problem with mechanical mods is voltage drop off, you know. You can get like good 5-6 toots off of a battery, and then all of a sudden it just slams out, and then all of a sudden everything's weak sauce. You know, to each their own. Right now I'm vaping zero nicotine in this one here. It's pumpkins and spice. And pumpkin cheesecake, sorry. And it tastes just like pumpkin pie. It's so good. I'm like a big fan of zero nicotine now, and I got a couple bottles of zero nic coming in. You know, I thought I'd miss nicotine, but honestly, once you get on the vaping and you get all the other chemicals out from cigarettes, it's not nicotine you're addicted to, it's the other chemicals. Like, I didn't realize that arsenic has an addictive property, benzene has an addictive property, and there's probably other chemicals in cigarettes that have addictive properties. So it's not really nicotine alone that you get hooked on, it's all the shit in a cigarette that you get hooked on. So that's pretty awesome. But if I had the Supermax, I wouldn't need these beasts anymore. I'd still keep them, but I wouldn't need them as much because I could run my IGO-L or any other device off of that, and it would work, and it would constantly vape and throw the right power at all times. There'd be no voltage drop off due to the circuitry built in. That's what I love about like the VAMO and the SID is even if the battery's at 3.4 volts, the internal circuitry can make it run at 3.7. You do feel a little bit of a voltage cutoff, but it's not as bad as running a mech mod. You know, it's not too bad, not too bad. But, I don't know, to each their own, I guess. Some people love these goofy things, these mechanicals, and literally this is just a metal tube with a battery in it and a button that makes contact and fires the atomizer, you know. And you get a pretty good vape off of them. It's not too bad, not too bad. But, I don't know, I'm a big fan of regulated devices. I like the fact that they control your battery for you, because the problem with these, once again, is there is no onboard voltage detection. And lithium, these protected LiMN, I'm not sure what the MN is, I don't think it's magnesium. They're chemically safe batteries, so they won't catch fire and explode. If overcharged, they'll just basically melt. Yeah, and wreck your charger, but it's better than exploding and burning down your house. But there is no onboard voltage detection, so if you drop one of these batteries below 2.5 volts, they'll never charge right again, and they'll be dead. They'll be done. So that's why I kind of like those regulated mods, is they won't do that, and that's perfect. Now, obviously, you can't go out there and buy any old mech mod and any old battery and start sub-ohming. You'll blow your fucking face off if you do that, because if you buy a battery, like for instance, like one of these batteries here, probably think, well, what's wrong with that battery? Number one, it's a lithium-ion battery. So if you have a short in your coil, this battery overheats, you got a nuke on your hands. This battery here, I run these in my Heineken VTR, mainly because the VTR is regulated, it's safe, and it won't kill this battery, because if it feels this battery is having problems, it's going to shut itself down. It'll never overrun this battery at all, which is nice. But for sub-ohming, what I've been using are these Sony, the IMR 650 Sonys, they're the VTCs. 60 amp burst for 5 seconds, 30 amp nominal, and people have been known to bring those down to 0.12 ohms. And then the other batteries I'm running are these IMR 18650s by freaking eFest, 2000 milliamp. These have a 10 amp nominal discharge. You can bring them down to 0.05 ohms. I've been running them at 0.06, or sorry, 0.5 ohms. I've been running them at 0.6 ohms, 0.7 ohms, and they've been working great. But honestly, sub-ohming, it's alright, but you don't need to. You can still get pretty good clouds out of not sub-ohming. Like I said, for instance, this here coil here is a 1.8 coil in a Cardo. And it puts out a pretty good job, you know. This coil here in this Pro Tank 2 is a 2.3 ohm coil. I'm running it at 11 watts. And it does a pretty good job too. And honestly, I find with sub-ohming you get way too much vapor in your mouth. So if you're actually running a nicotine juice, like one hit off of this with a good battery and a fully loaded nicotine juice is like 5 hits off those little ego pens. So to each their own there. Some people just like being a hero and blowing super clouds, that's all. But I don't know, I'm kind of over it. Now I'm more about the flavor. And this thing here gives you okay flavor, but I find sometimes it just produces way too much vapor, which is something that a lot of people won't complain about. But I don't know. It's kind of brutal, kinda. Hey, look, I'm talking about vape. Haha. Well, I gotta head off to work soon. Some bitch pile of monkey nuts, but it's the way she goes. I also noticed on my gaming channel I frigged up big times. I have my regularly rolling programs going up at 11 a.m. I forgot that, and I've been putting up Car Mechanic at noon. So, like, when you're watching the videos being put up, you see, like, Minecraft, 11 a.m. And then, like, boom, like, if you're subscribed to Skaven Games, you'll get two gaming videos back to back. So I need to fix that. So once I make my next batch of Car Mechanics, I'm going to put them up at 5 p.m. rather than 12 p.m. because I think that'd be a better idea. I also got a bunch of other games I got to put up. I didn't do any freaking Grand Theft Auto Online in a while because, well, I've been changing the room around and stuff and getting things more organized, and I still need to organize over there. Probably going to do that tonight when I get home. Or I might play a shitload of video games. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But, good stretch. I just finished my coffee, and I got to go make a lunch and head off to work soon, so I don't know. We're going to probably end the vlog here and then carry on later on or something. Maybe when I get home I'll probably do a little bit of vlogging, or maybe I won't. I don't know. This is the reason why I'm doing buffer vlogging, as in putting up videos in advance. That way there, if I have absolutely nothing to talk about, then I don't even need to pick up a camera and everything's okay. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's vlog. If you did, click that like button. Let me know if you're watching the Olympics. I'm most certainly not. Like I said, I have no TV, so there's nothing for me. I guess I could watch it on the internet somewhere, but I don't know. It's just, sports never really interested me. You know, I'm a Canadian. I'm supposed to be big time into hockey, and I'm not there. But anyway, people, I'm going to shut her down, so hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, the like button, give it a clickety-clack, or the dislike button, give it a clickety-clack. Call's yours. Questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. And until next time, people, keep on vlogging.